Okay. All right. All right. Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. Um, we're all waiting for a ban list, but you know what? Sometimes, like, rather than waiting on a ban list, it's just good to bring this up. For you who don't know me, I'm the same guy that got rid of that cursed needle fiber a long time ago. Put the emphasis on why needle fiber is not a fair card. It's basically like a universal reinforcement army in your extra deck, okay? Okay. So, you want this, dude. You really want this. Sometimes you need this. This is kind of like the pulling the thorn out of your skin. I don't know. This is the falling in barbed wire around your neck, and you're just trying to take barbed wire off your neck. That kind of feel. Because it's been, I don't even know how many YCSs. Let me tell you, it's been 10 years, 20, we're going to say 20, let's go with the 15-year range. So many YCSs, man. We're just going to at least say over thousands, just a ton of YCS events, okay? And every time you go to these YCS events, and people don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this, but it's just a common thing you have to see. Okay, so there's these two specific hand traps that are just, and now we're getting to like other ones like Fenrir, right? And like Fenrir and Unicorn, okay? And even Unicorn, because Unicorn has its stupid thing of banishing any card, banishing the card. It has a stupid thing. It has a stupid thing that makes it liable. It's also the nerdy OCG Japanese debate of when they activate that card that they can take away something that you're trying to do. And if they do it the right way, they've basically already won. So there's that. But okay, so what is Ash? What is Ghost Ogre? What are these new hand traps? We're even gonna just like put in there like tactics because droplet is still kind of conditional. Okay, so droplet, surprisingly, droplet can be needed at times, but it is still conditional. But tactics is acting like Max C, which I do not like Max C. I just do not like Max C. And tactics still acts kind of like a bootleg form, not as powerful as Max C, but still annoying. The Max C debate is going to take time. It's going to take time for the Max C debate. Whether it can make the format better or whether it can, slow it down or, change. The Max C might, over time, it might change to being good if these ban lists just continuously just don't do good, if these ban lists just keep on not doing anything. Okay, so like take a card like Droll, like some of these cards that I've circled, and we're gonna explain and do it. Okay, so like take a card like Droll. Droll is a card, and I'm not even talking about banning. I can even talk about just limiting a card, like limiting a hand trap. We don't have to talk about banning yet. Because it's just not one of those things yet. But there might be a hand trap that we can ban. That's how hard it is, because there is a hand trap that we could ban and it would be okay. I think it is, sadly, like the Cashier. The Cashier is so splashable that but splashable is never good in Yu-Gi-Oh! It really isn't. At the end of the day, even though a card is splashable, it's normally it's just not good, because then the good deck that can use it uses it. So basically, yeah, you just ban right off the top. We got ban in cash, but we also, if I were to make an opinion, a very good opinion on the meta of the game, like I would say that banning Snow Rabbit is actually, and Snow Rabbit's a confusing one, but yes, Snow Rabbit being banned would actually be really good, and maybe even banning Ash would be really good too. And there's many reasons. Ash is just a block just a blockade for many things. Ash does not win you like all the rounds, but Ash is good enough. That's why it tops. All the tops that you see is with Ash and Snow Rabbit. And Snow Rabbit's like one that is like so underrated because you try and make the argument, well, it's just a popper. You just be like, well, Snow Rabbit's just a popper. But no, Snow Rabbit is a good material. It has so many uses to go into synchro plays, but it has the pop. The pop is just enough with the pop to be like a floating, because all hand traps float. And what that means is you don't need to like set, you always have like a safety net kind of. So, and Snow Rabbit it's always been good. There might be an argument where we wouldn't ban Snow Rabbit, but definitely we would have a ban on Ash. That's for sure. There would be a ban on Ash, or a limit. And you see, if we could limit Ash or we could limit Snow Rabbit, that'd be fine too. So that's why. But like, if you were to ask me, I mean, banning Ash, yeah, banning Ash wouldn't be too bad because Droll has a punishment. Okay, so Droll's fair because Droll gives you a punishment for just trying to stop somebody's turn. Shifter even at times sometimes Shifter feels like it's ban worthy, but Shifter is kind of fair. I disagree with saying it's ban worthy because Shifter can be bricky, and it's really too close to tell with Shifter. Shifter is kind of fair. Nibiru, I don't find Nibiru fair. Nibiru it can give you bad hands, sure. Nibiru can give you bad hands, but for the most part, if you have a Nibiru, and even the kaiju argument, that's a really hard one, okay? Because the kaiju debate is that, I mean, you're specifically tributing one card, which actually the kaiju is a little bit, in some scenarios, just as good as Nibiru because you're not targeting, like you're not getting to everything on the field, and you're only getting to one card, and then you can go for game. So you can go for game. Kaiju's to see a kaiju be banned, no, but that'd probably be limited. Evenly matched. Definitely could be a limit because evenly matched you have to open up with for it to be effective, and that's still a thing where evenly matched is you have to open, but it could be definitely limited. Talking about it's a ban topic. I do feel like sometimes Pot of Prosperity is just definitely like a ban. And these are not even like hand traps. These are like these cards are draw cards are good for one, getting out a hand trap, but it's also they're also rather than being defense, they're like offense. So if you're able to activate any draw card, it ends up setting your flow good. And once your flow is set good, you basically won. Pot of Prosperity, I already talked about the last time, but there was really nothing done behind Pot of Prosperity. But there is something that needs to be done by it because Pot of Prosperity has a little bit of a loophole of making decks that shouldn't be fast, and so Pot of Prosperity does get that part. Engage is a funny one because as much as you're probably like, oh, why would we go after Engage or why would we go after any of the Sky Striker cards? Sky Strikers in general is like. The problem is you just have so many builds of Sky Striker. You can build a 60, a 40. You have these different builds, and they're just very anti-meta builds. And I don't even hate against them. I think they're actually pretty cool. But Engage just gives them an easy rip. And then once they get that easy rip, it's just like when they get like into better hands or if they get into better stuff, and they already have all the runic cards. Now you're probably making an argument, what about the runic cards, But to be fair, the runic cards are pretty fair. The hands when you're actually overall playing Runic, they're just not good opening hands. Runic still falls in that tier where it's just like it's not going to win you majority of the rounds. It's still going to have its moments where it's only winning you like one round. Even if a good Runic player and you have a good Runic build, you're not seeing as many tops from Runic because of that. Now, Branded Fusion is another one. Just get ready for that. Branded Fusion is most likely going to be banned. And it sucks because Branded Fusion is affordable. It's a structure deck thing. But Branded Fusion is just, it's basically almost like what you would consider a Pot of Greed. It's just an overall good card. It does good in OCG. And it doesn't get any better in the future. So, yeah, you have to ban it. It's like the banning situation with Pot of Prosperity because you have to ban Branded Fusion because it's milling out 2 cards of the deck and it's bringing out some stuff. And surprisingly, that fusion is really good. That's a really good fusion. It's a very underrated fusion, and depending on what scenario you're in, when you bring out that fusion, you know which one I'm talking about. Freezy. You bring out Freezy. It's actually quite game changing. It just depends on how you do it. You got to do it the right time. I even put DD Contract in here for a reason because DD Contract is just like explaining to you what's going on. Okay, so like DD Contract is a 1 card thing. Okay, so it's like a 1 card. This is just like a dumb way of explaining it to people. DDD is a 1 contract card that's searching another card from a deck to make other combos. And we're not even talking about banning or limiting DD Contract. DD Contract is a card, though, that could be limited because, believe it or not, DDDs can do some things. But, and then we even get into the Gamma debate because that's a hard debate, dude. Gamma's a very hard debate. From what I've seen lately, the Gamma's no fun because once your opponent activates Gamma, sure, there's ways to punish a person that's playing Gamma, because they might draw into their driver, they might, which is like you're basically a dead hand. Gamma, if Gamma's activated at the right time, it is game changing and it is game winner. So like to see Gamma be banned is not impossible because as good as a card Gamma is, and you can have like a mirror match, both people playing with Gamma. I've seen the problems now. The problems with Gamma is like because the card game is just too fast. And since it's so fast, once you activate Gamma, it's kind of disappointing because you're already like, oh man, I had to do so much to get over Gamma, and Gamma just brings that. So that's the biggest issue is like they're at a brain puzzle right now. Honestly, just banning even 1 hand trap would be a good start. And they're going to technically have to ban at least 2 hand traps, at least 2 of them, because of the cache. And I don't even like that. It's like, okay, the easy answer is go after Fenrir, right? So we go after Fenrir. That's a pretty easy answer. But it's like, I don't like the other answer because the other one, it's just like a shootout, like it's so crazy because like it's able to banish an extra deck card, and that is actually a very, very good card. It's always been talked about that as a good card, and it's been shown how it can be a good card. Just getting that and triple tactics, even like I think you could limit triple tactics, but like triple tactics is very annoying now because it does different things. It helps your draw, and anytime you get to help your draw hand during your opponent's turn, that's pretty good. Circled Imperm, because as much as you think like Imperm's a card, you'd be like, oh man, but this card it's a fair card. It needs to be set. It stops. It balances. It punishes you. I've seen people who play Imperm just like they play Droll and they get punished. Most people who play Droll do get bad draws, and most people who play Imperm get bad draws. And and perm it's just so odd. You have to watch a ton of matches on that, and you have to shuffle and test it out yourself because that's just what Joel and imperm do. They give you like these awkward draws. Imperm is needed because it's like a column thing. Even at the most, you would say you could like limit imperm. I don't even like Moonlit because Moonlit has a condition. It has too many good conditions. So Moonlit, everybody's been talking about using Moonlit, but Moonlit has just been an annoying card because it's a game changer. Let's talk about how stupid these ban lists are here for us because it's a good point of showing how stupid it is. Okay, is that instant fusion still a thing? Instant fusion should never be a thing. I don't care if instant fusion's at 1. I really don't. Instant fusion at the end of the day is just a card that once activated can change the whole part of it. Card of Demise, same thing. Card of Demise not really paid attention to too much, but Card of Demise could be in the future or specifically, we're just specifically on the instant fusion because instant fusion just has too much fusion crap to help it out. Set rotation. Let me think here. Let's see. Set rotation, terraforming. Upstart, as stupid as Upstart is a splashable card. I don't know what they would really do with Upstart, but Upstart is a splashable card, and there's that. So there's that. That's a big problem. Access code talker is not even and we're not even getting into the full ban list yet, of course, but we're talking about access code talker because as much as it could be a fair card at times, it's a game changer. It just does its thing and it does it. Dark Ruler is Blue Ash is fair, but I do see Blue Ash being annoying in the future. I don't know why, but I just see Blue Ash being annoying, which it's the other Ash that just heals. So you activate it and you get a bunch of life points from it. And sometimes people don't even pay attention to the simple thing, like a Performapal Karibo. If it's activated at the right time, it can win you a game. And I could see in the future that the Performapal Karibo could be limited. I could see it. It is a pretty annoying card. It just depends on how you do it. It's pretty annoying, and a lot of cards. Honest stuff. All the stuff of Honest. Now, this is a funny topic because, Honest, heroes have their own Honest. There's even an opposite Honest that just was one of the new cards to help Dark. Honest comes off as a card that's no way. Honest does have some decks that can abuse Honest and then can put you in an awkward situation where you're giving up your battle phase because you don't want to lose because it's all timed rounds. And it also does push. It has pushes. It'd be another limit, though, you know what I'm saying, if it ever went to a serious debate on it. It'd be another just limit because putting it in a ban would just not, because you're already making the ratio build to put Honest in, and normally you're only putting it at 2, you're not putting it at 3, because at the time when you're putting it at 3, that can lead to some bad things. So normally you're only putting it at 2. So that's why just probably at the most be a limit. Think about some things. They brought back Lyrilusk, and I really don't like that card, that XYZ Lyrilusk, because it just doesn't seem right. Monkey Board doesn't even seem right. Astro doesn't seem right. Monkey Board doesn't seem right because Monkey Board does still have a purpose. The new Pure League cards and tier, any card that excavates, okay, so let's get into this. Any card that excavates, that's why we bring up Pot of Duality. Yes, you can even lose to Pot of Duality. If somebody's smart enough and they know how to play Pot of Duality, they can get you with Pot of Duality, because Pot of Duality is allowing them to see the next 3 of their cards and choose rather than just draw. So yes, Pot of Duality does have a function. It's a very slim function. That's why we'd probably only limit, or something like that, or I don't limit it, man. Oh, man. But Pot of Duality is a really annoying one. Yes, Desires is annoying too. Desires, I definitely, as much as I like Desires and I see the things about Desires, I do feel sometimes that Desires is bannable. Yep, it's bannable. Because it's like, Pot of Prosperity is bannable. But Pot of Desires, the reason Pot of Desires is bannable is because, yes, sure, you make the argument you have to, you can get bad situations with it, but for the most part, if you're going for game, it's this stupid argument. If you're going for game and you activate this, one, it draws out a hand trap. 2, it draws out a floodgate. 3, if everything goes through, you're way ahead and you can win, and you don't even care that you banished all those cards. So yeah, there's that. Called by the Grave is a funny card because it's what Gamma is not. Called by Grave is fair. Still, Called by the Grave needs to stay at its number because you can't boost it up because it's just a good card. It's a good enough blockage card for the graveyard. Reinforcement of the army. See, this is why ban lists are so complex. Like in the past, reinforcement army at the 1, sure, cool. But I think as we get into the future, reinforcement army could be a problem and that needs to be banned. And OCG they've had talks about that too. Because even though you're just searching the warrior, you're searching it quick. Sark's like the gold, banish. And if you know your deck really well and you use gold Sark can be a game changer. And there's nothing wrong with using Sark. But man, you better have a good defense if you're using Sark. So Sark could be easily like a thing that it's really weird to say that Sark could be banned, but that's not impossible. Now, Spiral Resort just went to 3, so I mean, there's a chance this will never happen. But I will say that putting Spiral Resort, yes, putting that card to 3. Looks like I'm saving the best for last though, because we're gonna talk about Ghost of Haunted, right? But I don't know, man. Let me just tell you, Spiral Resort at 3, meh, it's still a problem. It's basically better than, I don't know if it's better than Reinforcement Army 100%, but I mean pretty much, yeah. Spiral players are just 1 or maybe 2 cards away from putting you in check. And Spiral, the only thing that Spiral really runs into is if they get a brick hand or something, but if they don't get a brick hand, they can get you. That's why our ban list is different from OCG's. Not all the time are we bad. Sometimes we're a little bit better than OCG. It just depends. OCG's finally caught up with the Spiral nonsense. Where the heck is it? Okay, so Ghost of the Haunted comes off as a card that you could just limit or whatever. But it could also be banned. It just because all these new decks kind of hate Ghost of Haunted. And since they hate Ghost of Haunted, not all of them do, but most of the new decks do not like the Ghost of Haunted thing. And when Ghost of Haunted is activated, just kind of like Shifter. But Ghost Haunted is more conditional. The argument is that Haunted's not like Shifter, but Haunted still can do things. Let's eat Crow, because see how annoying this was? Let's eat Crow. Let's end by eating Crow. Crow is a card. DD Crow is a card that can rip a card out of the graveyard. And that's not enough to ban it. But it is a card you should still look at. I don't know. It's a really hard one. Normally, I guess it's a fair card. It's a fair card. It's not like it's access code talker or something. See, this is just a part 1. But Oh my gosh, I don't like I don't. I don't even like that. I'm not talking about Mecha really, because Mecha's fair because Mecha's a little slow. That one's a slow card. It can be a good card though. It's good in spam decks, and it's a really good card. That one. That's what's weird too, because we haven't really seen that much of it. But sometimes when you do see it, it can be game changing. But for the most part, it's not topping enough to where we would consider talking about Mecha. So there's no point of really talking about that yet. Yeah, but other than all that, yeah, that's the thing. There you go. That's the nerd list. Panker tops. See, I circled Panker tops. I circled Cherry Winter because they're slow. I circled Valor because it's slow. It could be good, but it's slow most of the time. Lancia I circled. Yeah, Lancia can be a good card, but it's slow. Where the heck is that? Battle Fader. You know what's funny? Like, I played a little trickery right here. Scarecrow's more easy to counter, but like Battle Fader, yes, you can still have a YCS event, and somebody activates Battle Fader on you, and it's a game changer. And there's always going to be some guy that's looking into Battle Fader. That's just one of the cards they always look into. But yeah, sometimes I do feel like Battle Fader being limited to one would not. I mean, like, you rarely see a Battle Fader. You really do. You rarely see a Battle Fader, but it's still in the card pool, so they're still gonna find a way to play Battle Fader on you, depending on. But they have to see the situation to be like, okay, well, maybe I should play Battle Fader. But yeah, they have to see that through. Where is it? They have whatever the matchups are, because right now we're in like Super Heavy Samurai, we're in Cashteria, and Cashteria is just a run over kind of thing. So yes, surprisingly, Battle Fader could do something. As old of a card as it is, it could do something. Just depends on how you have to have other cards behind it too. Yeah, I think for the most part I got all of it. I got that all really quick. Where was the other one? Yeah, I got that pretty quick. Skullmeister's even like that. See, and Skullmeister's just another, whatever debate. Droll's funny because Droll could be a problem. It could, but it's just not. It just punishes you. Because I know Droll's a really heavy topic. There's a heavy topic behind Droll, but most of the time you're just drawing into Droll and you're losing. Even if you do draw Droll and you activate Droll, there's no guarantee you're like clutching the game, But yeah, this is the frustrating angle you need to know. These hand traps are game changing. They do stuff. Surprisingly, they do make a difference. Nibiru, even though sometimes you don't see Nibiru, and that's the thing. So some of them are just comfortable. Nibiru and Ash. Ash is comfortable, but Ash has definitely won too many tournaments. It's won so many tournaments. It's gotten stupid. It's just really stupid how many tournaments Ash has won. Overall, Ash is like an annoying one. It's very cringy. You can literally look at you can look over so many deck profiles and you'd see so many Ashes, you'd be like, oh, this is stupid. Nibiru is but Nibiru is just like Ash, and Nibiru, as long as you're in the game, whether you're on like round 3, you're round 2, Nibiru can even help you get a 2-0. Nibiru is always a card you're thinking about putting in because, I mean, any chance you get to stop them, you're going to get to your turn. And it's all about getting to your turn now. Now it's about winning the turn battles, and that's why people play Nibiru. And, that's why you saw a final where there was Nibiru to Bureau. So, yeah.